While retail traders fight over if the trend is bullish or bearish, a small group of smart money traders quietly profits from price differences that shouldn't exist but do. The arbitrage trading strategies I'm about to reveal might completely change how you see trading and help you make money. But right, so first of all, in order to start arbitrage trading, you first of all, of course, need to know what is arbitrage trading in the first place. Well, in simple terms, arbitrage means that you profit and make money from price differences for the same asset across different markets. So you look at an asset, for example, Bitcoin, and the goal here is to find opportunities when Bitcoin trades at different prices on different exchanges. Or this works for stocks, stocks, Forex, and other assets as well. But here's a classic example. So you can, for example, buy low on exchange A. Let's say exchange A is, Bybit, and sell higher on exchange B, maybe Binance or another exchange. And in this way, you can instantly lock in profits. And as I mentioned, this works across different markets like crypto, Forex, stocks, futures, and more. And one thing that is sort of kind of good about arbitrage trading is that it helps enforce market efficiency. So because many traders are looking out for arbitrage opportunities, this will often make it so that the price are very close at the different exchanges, especially for the large exchanges and large assets like Bitcoin. The prices will be very close to each other, but you can definitely find opportunities in other, especially in much smaller markets or on much smaller exchanges. And I will actually show you guys a TradingView indicator later on in this video that I think you guys will really like. But alright, so now we need to of course learn about how arbitrage works. And arbitrage works because markets are not perfectly efficient. You will always be able to find temporary price gaps between the same asset. And as I briefly mentioned, traders can exploit these gaps before the gaps close. And this is how we make money. So a simple example, this one is a bit outdated because, Bitcoin is now trading at almost 120,000. But if Bitcoin trades at, let's say, 30,000 on one exchange, but 30,300 on another exchange, you can make a quick $300 in profit by buying the Bitcoin on one exchange, quickly transfer it over and sell it on another exchange. But here, and this is very important, most arbitrage is fast. So the faster you are, the more opportunities you will be able to find. They are often also low margin and requires high speed. And margin is a very important term to learn about. If you are a trader, you need to learn about terms like margin and leverage. But don't worry, I do have a video about leverage and margin, and I highly recommend you guys to check that one out after this one. But right, so now let's switch the attention and take a look at some of the main arbitrage trading strategies. And the very first strategy we of course need to talk about is the exchange arbitrage. This one is pretty straightforward. This is where you buy an asset on one exchange and sell it on another. This is a very common strategy in crypto. So for example, you can use, Binance and Coinbase. One of my favorite exchanges is Bybit. And by the way, if you haven't gotten started with Bybit yet, I do have a special link where you can get up to $30,000 in free bonuses. And I will make sure to link that exchange in the pinned comment as well as the description. So definitely check that one out if you are trading crypto and want some free bonuses. But the exchange arbitrage is the most common one. But we also have, this one is a bit more advanced. It's the triangular arbitrage. This is where you are exploiting price loops between 3 pairs instead of 2. And this is pretty common in Forex, but also in cryptocurrency. Yet another one that can definitely be even more profitable is DEX arbitrage. So this is where you find price differences between decentralized exchanges rather than centralized exchanges. So we're talking about exchanges like Uniswap and Curve. But here it's important to watch for gas fees and slippage. And here I do have some more trading strategies as well, but we don't have time to cover them all in this video, so I will save the rest of the strategies for our YouTube channel members. I can just give a quick shout out for the YouTube community, the channel members community we have right here on YouTube. I post presentations like this one, exclusive videos, other kinds of exclusive content, and so on and so on. So if you want to get access to this full presentation and all trading strategies, you can become a channel member by clicking join down below. But now I do want to go move on here, because now I do want to take a look at how do we use arbitrage in practice. So this is the step-by-step. First of all, you need to open accounts on multiple platforms and exchanges. So for example, as I mentioned, you can use Bybit, and let's say you can also use Binance. And as I said, I do have a link for Bybit where you can get bonuses the more you trade. So make sure to use that one. And I also have a link for Binance. That link you will get, I think, 10% off on all your trading fees. That might not sound like a lot, but if you trade a lot, this is something that really stacks up over time. And if you trade a lot, you probably know that fees can actually eat up lots of your profit. So if you're going to use Bybit and Binance, make sure to use both links down below. But what you also need to do is that you need to monitor prices using tools. I will soon show you guys some tools, and you need to be able to act fast. Many traders, I think, most arbitrage trading nowadays are using some kind of automation, some kind of bots in order to be able to execute really fast. You also need to, of course, have funds on multiple exchanges, and you need something to be able to calculate the fees and potential slippage. But now let's actually take a look at some of the main risks of arbitrage trading, because arbitrage trading, many people are usually saying that this is a risk-free type of trading, because you see the prices on both exchanges, so you might just think that there is no risk involved, but there can always happen things that are outside our control. So things like, execution delays or slippage. Maybe when you put out your order, it doesn't really get executed correctly. It might be some error. There are always things that can happen. Things can happen with your network. You can miss trades. If you're doing it manually, it can be very hard to be fast enough. You have other kinds of operational risks. And as I said here, we can't really say that all arbitrage is risk-free. And by the way, guys, on this note of risk, if you are trading a lot, I do have a video about general trading risk management. I do highly recommend to check that one out after this video. So I will make sure to have that video both in the video card as well as the description below. Alright guys, so now let's actually jump into TradingView. I'm currently looking on Bitcoin on a 15-minute time frame. But because now I do want to show you guys a TradingView indicator. We do have many indicators that you can use to help you find these opportunities. But for now, I want to show you a specific one. And before we start, I can just also mention that if you don't have TradingView Premium yet, you are in luck, because I do have a special link. You can use that link to get TradingView Premium for free for 30 days. And if you then later on decide that, I liked TradingView Premium enough, I want to upgrade, well, then you will get a $15 bonus. So make sure to use that link if you want to follow along. But now you want to go up to the indicators tab in TradingView, and then you want to search for arbitrage like this, and then opportunity like this. And the indicator I want to show you guys is this one called Uptrick Arbitrage Opportunity right here. So you open this one up, and as you can see, we will have a indicator here at the bottom. What you also can see is that you will get a window right here, and in this window you get some very important information. You can see that first of all we have two exchanges. We have exchange 1 and exchange 2. To see what exchanges we are currently looking at, you need to open up the settings tab of the, let me delete the drawings. You need to open up the settings tab of the indicator, and you can see that right now we're looking at Binance is exchange 1 and exchange 2 is Bybit. And right now you can see that the prices are very similar. You can see on Binance it's 180,136. On Bybit it's 118,148. You can see the prices here are pretty similar, and this price comparison is what you can see if you zoom in right here. So right now you can see that the differences are pretty small, but you can see that when it goes to minus here, that means that the price is higher on Bybit, and when it goes up right here, it means that the price is higher on Binance. So what you are essentially looking out for is to find spots where, for example, you can see right here, you can see we had lots of higher price on Binance, and this was an opportunity, a potential opportunity to buy and get arbitrage. These arbitrage opportunities often happen where you see lots of price movements, like for example right here. But here, these arbitrages between the big exchanges, remember right now we are on Bitcoin, and we are on two of the largest exchanges in the world. These are very efficient, so it will be hard unless you have a very good automated arbitrage bot or something like that. I think it will be very, very hard to make money here. So what we instead can do is that we can look at much less common exchanges. So we can go to the settings tab right here, and let's, instead of comparing it with Bybit, let's actually go down and choose something much less liquid, like Gate.io. I haven't even used this exchange on my own, but you can right away see that when we choose this one, you can see that recently, if these numbers are correct, I'm not having the exchanges open right now, but you can see that right away it looks like recently we have been starting to see some opportunities here, because the price on Gate.io is 118,800, while on Binance is 180,134. So here you can see that we have a large difference right now and a great arbitrage opportunity to make $700. This is, of course, if this indicator is displaying accurately right now, and also if this exchange, if there's nothing wrong, if we're assuming that there's nothing wrong with the data. But I hope you can see that this is basically how it works. We look at different exchanges and try to find the difference between these exchanges. But right, guys, so if you don't want to burn yourself using arbitrage trading, it's super important to learn about risk management. So when you have the time, I highly recommend to check out this video next.